Welcome back, everyone. This is ACI 1, Class 8. Today is the 8th of February, 2024. We are going to do Chapter 6 today. So let's get ready, gather our mind here and set our motivation. So just sit up straight and close your eyes. Just relax and focus your attention on your breath. Just watch your breath until you hear from me. Now bring your mind, bring to mind the being who is a manifestation of perfect love, perfect compassion, and perfect wisdom. See them appearing before you just by way of you thinking of them. The wisdom radiates from them, a warm glowing glow encompassing you in its light. They're gazing at you with love and smiling at you with a holy great compassion. And we hear them say, please bring to mind a being who is hurting in some way. About how much you would like to help them. The worldly ways that you have tried or you might try. Recognize how those worldly ways fall short. How wonderful it will be if we can also help them in some deep and ultimate way. A way through which they can stop their distress forever. Will that wish grow into an intention and into a determination when you're ready? Now bring your mind back to your holy guide. They know what we need to know, what we need to learn, and what we need to do. And so we ask them, please show me that. They're so happy that we have asked, and of course, they agree. When gratitude arises, and we want to offer them something exquisite. And we think of the perfect world that they teach us to create. We imagine we can hold in our hands, and we offer it to them. following it with our promise to practice what they teach us in the form of the refuge prayer. Here is the great earth, filled with the smell of the incense, covered with a blanket of flowers, the great mountain, four lands, wearing a jewel of the sun and the moon. In my mind, I make them the paradise of the Buddha and offer it to you. By this deed, may every living being experience the pure world. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamiyan Sayang. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened with the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community. Through the merit that I do in giving and the rest, may I reach Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened with the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community. Through the merit that I do in giving and the rest, may I reach Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened with the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community. Through the merit I do in giving and the rest, I will become a Buddha for the sake of all beings. May it be so. You can bring your mind back to the space when you're ready. Okay, just a recap of what we have learned last week. Can you hear me? Is it good? Clear? Yeah, okay, good. Last week, we learned chapter 5. In chapter 5, we learned samsara. What is samsara? We say samsara is the condition of being forced to take on, the condition of being forced by our karma and mental afflictions to take on the impure parts, okay, that make up a suffering being over and over again, right? And then we say that there are two ways that we can develop the renunciation. Renunciation means that I am sick and tired of this broken world. I want to get out of samsara. How to get out of samsara? Means I don't want this dissatisfactory condition. I don't want this dissatisfactory condition of having to take these impure parts. Yeah. So I want to escape that. I don't want these impure parts, this dissatisfactory condition. And so they show us that there are two ways that we can do to eliminate the desire for the good things in this life, which is the first half of our desire, right? And there are two ways. One is they ask us to meditate on the leisure and fortune. What do we mean by that? That now we have this, this healthy body, we can sit down and meditate. We have the mind that can think straight. We have all the perfect circumstances for us to start our spiritual practice. And so do it now. So they are urging us to do it now. This is the perfect time. You have all the perfect circumstances. You're so special. You're 1 in 10 millions. And so the second one, they ask us to meditate on death. That death is inevitable, means death is certain. We all know we are going to die. But the time of death is not certain. We don't know when we are going to die. But when we die, nothing but the Dharma can help us. So they want us to do these two meditation that will help us to get rid of the first half of our desire for the good things in this life. And that is in chapter 5, right? And when we talk about get rid of our desire, to give up on this life, right? What do we mean by that? That's very, very, very important, that part where we talk about the 8 worldly thoughts. 8 worldly thoughts. Actually, what are we renunciating? We are renunciating the 8 worldly thoughts. The 8 worldly thoughts where we are willing to do bad thing. And what happened? when we don't, you know, those kind of feeling, because we are so like our natural reaction. Our natural reaction is an ignorant reaction that plant the seed for us to see the thing that we don't like to come back again, to recur. So even though we understand it intellectually, it is a practice. We have to keep on practicing, keep on thinking about this and apply in our life. So we just started to hear about all this idea and we think, yeah, seems logical. If somebody speak bad about me, I don't like it. And so my natural reaction is to speak bad about that person. And because of that, I plant and imprint in my mind for me to experience something I don't like, and it's going to come back again. And with that understanding, and so I refuse to act in an ignorant way. I refuse, so I get rid of the egg worldly thoughts. Yeah, the egg worldly thought is our ignorant, natural instinct, natural. Yeah, people not good to me, I'm not good at them. You know, people treat me bad, I treat them bad. And that is the one that perpetuates our suffering in samsara. This is what we want to get rid. We need to renunciate these worldly thoughts. So that is in chapter 5. Okay, so now today we go into chapter 6 where we talk about the second half. Remember we say the first half is to get rid of the desire for this life. Doesn't mean that get rid of this desire you cannot enjoy life. It's just that the egg worldly thoughts that you are not like follow the egg worldly thoughts and keep on creating small samsaric experience. So the second half is to get rid of the desire for the good things in the next life. I want to share my PPT now. So chapter 6, the main thing, the two main topics is the 4 laws of karmas and 6 problems of life. So the main thing is I want to go into verse 4b. Verse 4b, remember the 3 principal path? This is verse number 4, part 2. Think over and over how deeds and their fruits never fail. End the cycle suffering. Stop desire for the future. Okay, so you can see here the second half of our desire that we want to eliminate, which is to stop desire for the future. Okay, so I stop this one first. When we say stop desire for the future, just now first half we say stop desire for this life, right? For this life. Then when we get old, it seems that we really like got no desire for this life anymore when we get older and older and older. And it is said that it's because, not because of our renunciation, but because we are forced to. We won't be making, like if you're old already 70 years old, you won't make a 10-year investment plan. You won't do that. So you kind of, you stop desire for this life. But when you pray, normally people already, they go to the temple, they pray, they start to get religious. And they say, I want to pray. And so that when I die, I want to become somebody rich. I want to become a prince, for example. I want to go to become like a god. I want to be born in the Amitabha's paradise. I don't know about you, in Malaysia here, we do have a lot of people who who pray when they die to go to Amitabha's paradise. You know, my friend told me, I got one very close friend, I very appreciate that. She teach me a lot of things. She always guide me, Rachel, like that. She know what thing she'll tell, Rachel, like that. So I'm very happy. And then she tell me, I tell you what, Rachel, when you die, before you die, you have to, oh, it's same there. You have to go and pray that you will be born in Amitabha's paradise. I said, why? Because you see, it's so difficult to stop the samsara, right? I said, yeah, we know that, we understand, but sometimes we react badly. We understand, we study, yeah, we understand. But sometimes when people press our button so much, we just blow. So difficult to practice. Yeah, and it will like, you know, if you go to Amitabha's paradise, then, you know, you will be safe. They say Amitabha make a promise that if you say you want to go to his paradise when you die, he will come for you when you die. So you pray for that. I say, okay, I'll remember that. Oh, now when I'm doing review, I start to read all this reading. They tell us, when you pray to go to Amitabha's paradise, your desire actually, you say we stop desire for this life, right? It actually changed form. We still have the desire. Now we are changing the form for the future life. We have a desire for future life. If we do it without the intention to reach this higher state, means I want to go to Amitabha's paradise. I want a better place, not because I want to become a Buddha. I can help all people. Of course, it's too early to say we want to become Buddha, but at least you want to reach this state, this level, this state where you will be able to help others. So if you do it without that intention, your desire actually change a new form that you're desiring the future life. Okay? Yeah. So I say, oh, interesting. I'm so thankful. I kind of like connect what my friend taught me. And with this, they all meant good. So now I know how to connect. Okay, I can go to Amitabha's paradise, but I need to have this intention, you know, the motivation to help others. I'm going to Amitabha's paradise where I'll be able to reach these states so that I'll be able to become a being who will be able to really help others in a deep and ultimate way. Then that is different. Okay, so that is a desire for the future life. Now, when we talk about future life, well, we are lucky in Asia, we kind of believe future lives. I grew up, oh, future life is very just natural, you know. I don't know about you, not, is that the same here at your place? Future lives? Yes, yeah, okay, good. But in Western countries, because we always hear them, they don't have this idea about future lives. But we don't want to accept by faith. So today, I also want to talk a little bit about, we want to use logic to prove that we have future lives. Is it true? Instead of like, oh yeah, that's what my mom tell me. All this, everybody, the culture, everybody believe. Is it true that we have future lives? Okay, so I want to kind of like explain. I want to explain about future lives. I kind of like want to prove future lives, not explain. So now I have this awareness here, right? I have this awareness. My mind, I got this awareness. Where does this awareness come from? So this awareness come from the awareness before it. I remember what I did just now, isn't it? Correct or not? I remember what I did just now. So it comes from the awareness before it. And where does that awareness come from? That awareness comes from the awareness before it. And that awareness comes from the awareness before it. And you can keep on trace until the very first awareness in this life, when I was born. Baby, I got an awareness. And where does that awareness come from? It comes from the awareness before this life. Awareness before this life. That proves that we have if we have a past life, that means that we have future life. Right? If we can prove that we have past life, immediately, I mean, we can accept that we have future lives too. Okay. And another way of looking at it would be, we say we have a mind stream. Our mind continue in a mind stream, continue in a mind stream. How do I know that? Let's prove that too. Why we send our kids to school? Why we put them in kindergarten when they're 5 years old to learn alphabet, to learn numbers? Because we believe that when they go to primary school, they will remember, they will know, then they can build up from what they learned earlier on, right? So before they go to primary school, we send them to kindergarten because we believe what they learn, they will still remember. The mind, there's a mind stream. Yeah, so primary school, secondary school, then they go to university. So we believe our mind that there is a mind stream. If we don't believe a mind stream, we won't be sending our kids to school. We won't be going to school. If what I learned in first year, by the time I go to second year, I don't remember anything. Like I learned addition in standard 1, addition and 加减. So addition and what? Minus. I remember that, and that helped me when I go to standard 2. And then how I go to standard 3, I learn maybe, you learn multiply, division, things like that, If I don't remember, then what's for you want to go to school if you forget everything you learned in year 1? So that proves that our mind stream, we have a mind stream. And there's another proof. Buddhism is like Western science. It's very much like Western science. Western science says that physical matter is not destroyed. Physical matter only change form. They change form. Okay. Let's look at this one. I give you one picture I go and find. I like this one so much. Okay. Okay, let's say the rain, from the raindrop, then go to the sea, right? They change form. Can you see the rain? This one drop and then become the sea. They change the form. Then this one become condensation, become then cloud, become cloud. They change form. And then the cloud become rain. So physical matter cannot be destroyed. It just change or transform into new stuff. When I die, my body, this skin and bone, will become dust, right? I burn already, then become ashes or dust. And then maybe the bug will come and eat. And then maybe the bird will come and eat the bug. They change form. Can you see how they change form? Then maybe the bird die, then become, I don't know, compost material in the soil. So they just change form. Physical matter come from physical matter. If we accept that, then what about mental stuff? So mental stuff should also come from mental stuff. If physical stuff come from physical stuff, then mental stuff come from mental stuff. This mind come from the mind before. Yeah, mind must come from mind. There's this ACI 4, you will learn the proof of future lives. Today is just a touch and go, so no worries. Actually, I look at many levels of ACI. I find that ACI 1 is the toughest to me, to be very honest. I feel that they give you because an overview. There's so many ideas inside it, but you don't have to worry because all these ideas we will revisit later. Like you go chapter 2, you talk about this. Then chapter 4, you talk about proof of future lives. Whatever I mentioned here, you just listen. Okay, you can get something. You don't have to understand everything. When you come to chapter 4, you will learn proof of future lives again. Yeah, proof of future lives. I still remember Master Dharmakirti, 660 AD. I did the presentation for that, that's why I remember. He said, Ngelan Gigu, the concept of material cause, where the mind, the thing must come from something similar before it. Hello. Yeah, hello. Things have to come from something similar before it, and then they flop over into the results. Okay, so you just listen only, say, I don't understand, no worries. ACI 4, then we go into greater detail. What they're trying to say is that the mind has to come from another, something similar, which the mind come from the mind. Physical stuff come from physical stuff, mental stuff come from mental stuff. And so this mind right now, if let's say I'm going to die now, it will flop into the next moment, the next awareness. Yeah. So that proves that we have future life. Hello, so cute, eh? You have a little girl here. Okay, just now I said I proved the future life, right? We say we want to stop desire for the future. So we prove, okay, we got future life. That is by clear thinking logic, not just by blind faith that, okay, you have to accept. Clear thinking. Nice. She's 10, your daughter. Hello. My daughter is 25 years old. Yeah, she just came back from Taiwan. Oh, so this week I'm extremely busy because I have to entertain many people. Okay. So just now I said we prove future lives, right? We know that now we have future lives, not because somebody tell me, but because by logic, by clear thinking, I can accept that, yes, when we die, like we say, the driver, when the car stopped, the car broke down, the driver is not dead, the driver come out, right? Yeah, the car dead, but the driver is not dead. So same thing for us, the mind continue, mind stream continue. Awareness continue in a different form. Physical stuff come from physical stuff, mental stuff come from mental stuff. Okay, that proves the future life. What about the content of a future life? Content. Yeah, what kind of future life content? So now very interesting. For the content, we are going to learn the 4 principles of action. The 4 principles of action, or we call it the 4 law of karma. Yeah, there are many different names. They are the same thing. They are taught by Lord Buddha. 4 principles of karma, they are teaching from Lord Buddha. Okay, so first thing, we say the teaching from Lord Buddha, right? Why should I believe the teaching from Lord Buddha? We say, when you talk about karma, okay, a lot of things we can use pure logic to come to, we can use our deductive reasoning to come to the conclusion. But for karma, we have to rely on scriptural authority. This one you learn in ACI 4 also, logic. It cannot come under the topic of logic. Okay, we say karma is, in ACI 4 later you'll learn about the obvious reality, hidden reality, deeply hidden reality. So for karma is a deeply hidden reality, which means that we are not able to use deductive reasoning or just pure logic to see the subtle workings of karma. We have to rely on scriptural authority and using our clear thinking to think well. That makes sense. We have to rely on scriptural authority, which means that we have to rely that Lord Buddha, what he said is correct. If you remember in earlier chapter, we were talking about, we say Lord Buddha is omniscient, right? Then we try to prove that. We say that, oh, because he described the world, he described my suffering in such a way so clearly and so accurately that I can confirm it myself. And so, okay, kind of like, maybe he's omniscient. So we have to rely on that. Yeah. The subtle workings of the karma, nobody can tell you this action will come like this one. But generally, from the root text from the Lord Buddha, he says that when you give, you will receive. When you keep your morality, you will have a life of bliss. Okay, but very specific, we don't know. We just know the nature. So these 4 principles of karma is very, 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 very important. And it's so important that you have to keep on thinking about that and how to apply in your life. Okay, so we want to talk about the first thing, the first principle of karma. Lay is karma, ngepa is definite. Lay ngepa. The first one, lay ngepa, karma is definite. Okay, so when I say the Tibetan word also say for blessing sake, lay ngepa. So for karma, what is karma? Oh, remember we learned karma in chapter 5. What is karma? Movement of the mind and what it motivates. movement of the mind, and what it motivates? It motivates your action, motivate your speech. In Chinese, I like it, 身口意. Karma can be produced by body, speech, and mind. Karma is definite. Okay, karma. Definite, this is need a bit of explanation. Definite here doesn't mean like a specific cause and produce a predictable result. Not like that, okay? Definite here means that the action is certain to produce similar consequences. Again, the action is certain to produce similar consequences. Actually, when I learned this, I don't understand. I said, I think the words doesn't make sense to me. And another, for me, it's easier for me to understand when I think of it like make like. Like, make, like. And initially, also, I don't understand what is like, make, like. It means that good cannot come from, good have to come from good. Bad have to come from bad. That is like, make, likes. Like, make, like. Like we always say, you compare apple with apple, orange and apple, orange. You cannot compare apple with orange. Understand? Right? Like, make, like. Yeah? So, like, make, like means that good has to come from good. Good cannot come from bad. Bad has to come from bad. Bad cannot come from good. What does that mean? When I make a lie, when I lie, and then I think I get a contract, I can get profit. And that is not, if based on this first law of karma, is not possible. We say good come from good. Like, make, like. When I lie, and then I get a contract. Is it because of I lie, I get a contract? It looks that way, but it's not like that. It's not like that. And then when I'm nice to somebody, then the person yell at me. It looks like I'm good with that. It looks like I'm good to the person, and then the person suddenly yell at me for no reason. Cannot be. Cannot, because I do good and then I get a bad result. Impossible. So in this first principle of karma, they tell us that is not possible. Good must come from good, bad must come from bad, even though our experience doesn't seem to be that way. But why, we'll go into detail later on. So I want to ask you, what is good karma? Somebody asked a question in the class the other day. Wait, let me check the questions. I remember Yap Ying asked the questions. Question 4, how do we know the behavior is wrong if it comes from our view? Yap Ying says. I want to answer that question when based on this principle. Good karma, what is good karma? Good karma is when the action that we do will, when they come back, bring us pleasant results. Something attractive, pleasant results. Bad karma will be the action that we do when they come back, bring us unpleasant results. So my teacher says, how I know what I do is good or bad? I think it's good, ma. That is, if you really think about that, the action that we do, if people do the same thing to you, when they come back, is that pleasant or unpleasant? That is my teacher's answer. Okay, again, I said, I do like that. I don't know, you know, then sometimes when I first learned that, I always tell my teacher, I know, I thought it's good. I'm very straightforward. I'm a straightforward person. I don't mean to hurt the person. My teacher say, okay, if the action come back to you, somebody do the same thing to you, when they come back, would that be a pleasant result or unpleasant result? From there, you'll be able to know what kind of action that we want to nurture, what kind of action that we want to cultivate. Yeah, and that it provides a guide to us. Okay, and sometimes we don't know. That's why we have vows. You will learn later about vows. Yeah, and actually vows, I was telling my son today, I said, having vows liberate me. And I feel so happy I have vows. I said vows not restraining me. In fact, when I have vows, I feel so liberated. I say you won't understand now. But keep on learning, you'll start to understand why. It takes time. Okay, Yap Ying, so I answer your questions. How I know whether the question is good or not good? Okay, is that a good karma or bad karma? So when it comes back, is that a good, pleasant result, or is that an unpleasant result? Yeah, you're welcome, Yap Ying. And that is very profound. The first principle of karma is very, very, very profound. I didn't see that so profound. I always thought, yeah, it's profound. Yeah, it's very important. But by now, even I find even more profound, even greater than what I thought. I like this one in Chinese. If those who know Chinese, in fact, I find that the English word doesn't talk too long. The words are so long, you know. The Chinese for this part is the best. 中瓜得瓜，中果得果. If those people who know Mandarin, it's really the best explanation. 中瓜得瓜，中果得果. Which means that if I want a papaya tree, I have to put in papaya seed. If I put in banana seed, I cannot get papaya tree. People say, yeah, I know. So it's the same thing with all our actions. How can we be guided with this understanding of this first law of karma? Yeah, you want rambutan tree, you need to put rambutan seed. I know lah, yeah lah. You know, everybody say no. But when it comes to life, our actions, then it's difficult for us to practice. But I really like what my teacher say that part. How to know whether it's good or bad when it comes back, whether is it giving you a pleasant feeling, pleasant result or an unpleasant result is a guide for us how we can behave. What kind of behavior we want to nurture. Okay, based on this first principle of karma, okay, when we talk about future life now, right, we apply this. Let's apply this. What is it going to happen? If I do non-virtuous deed, what is it going to happen? I'm going to go to the three lower realm. The three lower realm. What are the three lower realm? I did touch briefly on this. We could be born in the hell realm, or the ghost realm, or the animal realm. Okay, if we do non-virtuous act, and it's a misery birth. We call it the misery birth. Why misery birth? They have a lot of suffering. They have so much suffering. The hell being, in the hell, they have unspeakable heats of cold. Their body being burned, boiled. In our Asian country, we got a lot of that kind of picture. That shows all kind of, I said, why can't the boy the place like that one? No, you know, so terrible, so cruel one, you know. I remember that day I went to Singapore to visit my son. We brought our teacher from US. We went there. So I accompanied my teacher. We went to the Hoppo Villa. Is it Hoppo Villa? I remember it's Hoppo Villa that shows all the hell, different punishment. Yes, yeah. So that is it. When you think about that, you have renunciation. They want us to contemplate thinking about that. It's so terrible. If I do non-virtuous deed, I can go, the possibility of me going to the hell. Oh my God. Then you have this renunciation. You stop desire for your future life. You say, no, I still want desire for future life. Okay. So that is in the hell. All these things I will just touch and go only. I'll just briefly, no worries. You will study this ACI 8. In ACI 8, ACI number 8, you will learn in greater detail all the realms of existence. All the realms of existence in detail. There are many different levels of hell. Okay, and then for the ghost realm, it's the beings there, they're always hungry. That's why it's called hungry ghosts. They're always hungry, always thirsty, and they're living in a constant state of exhaustion and fear. They're always exhausted. They're always chasing. They see a food there, they go run, 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 run. When they reach there, no food. Or they reach there, they cannot eat the food because the throat is so small. Yeah, you will learn all these things in ACI 8 in greater detail. And in animal realm, they are mindless, without mind, mindless brutes, incapable of saying a thing and exploited by humans for work or for food. So it's terrible realm, isn't it? So terrible, isn't it? They're always scared. Huh? They have to always watch their shoulder and see any enemies nearby going to eat me or not. If they're not careful, then the big fish will eat the small fish. The big animal will eat the small animal. So a lot of sufferings are in the lower three realms. And if we do virtuous deeds, then it will throw us into this happier but higher realm. Higher realm like the human realm, or the God realm, or the demigod. Okay, the demigod is the lesser pleasure being. The lesser pleasure being. Okay, and they're always very jealous, and they always fight with the God. They're jealous of them, always fight, because they're jealous of them. And then their body being cut because of the fighting, their bodies will be cut and they get injured. What about this God realm? The God realm, it seems that the God realm, not bad, no? The God realm also, they will have terrible suffering after an incredibly long and pleasure-filled life when the signs of death begin to ruin their body. It says that like as a God of the higher pleasure being, is so beautiful. Their body is so beautiful. Everything is so beautiful, so nice. So they just enjoy only. And there'll come a time when the sign of death finally, they start to see the sign of death, that they're going to die. And that is going to ruin their body. Their body seems to be very, there's a stench, smell. And that really, they burn off all their good seeds and they just fall to the lower bird. So it is not good also to go for like becoming God. This is a lesser pleasure being. And then there's another one, the God, the higher one. Okay, the higher pleasure being. The higher pleasure being, yeah, this is the higher pleasure being. Sorry, I have to rephrase again. Let me rephrase again. I show you this one first. Okay, we say that I rephrase this one, the upper realm, the happier bird. Happier bird, let me talk about the demigod. The demigod is a lesser pleasure being. The lesser pleasure being, they are always jealous of the God here. And so they always fight with them. And therefore, they get injured. Their body could be cut. So they have their specific suffering. Whereas the God realm here, the higher pleasure being, they are not anything better because they enjoy and enjoy and enjoy. They have a lot of pleasure. And when finally the sign of death comes, they will suffer so much. The suffering is so great. And then most of them will fall into the lower three realm because they use up all their good karma. So I put it in proper words. And then for the human realm, we have these Sen Lao Bings, correct? We are born, we are forced to be born. Then we have forced to get old. We are forced to fall sick. Then we are forced to die. Then in our lifetime, we have the pain of trying to get the things that we want, and the suffering of not getting the things that we can, and the pain of meeting the people that we don't like. So we have the suffering as a human too, even though it is a happier bird. Okay, and this is in desire realm. Actually, the higher pleasure being, they have also in the form realm and formless realm. Do you know that? Yeah, just to let you know, the three realms of existence is the desire realm, which is the sixth just now, the sixth one, the sixth one, the three upper realm and three lower realm. And then we have the form realm. The form realm is also like the higher pleasure being, where they are so beautiful, they have beautiful form. They are like the one that we watch those Marvel stories, beautiful, like the Spider-Man, those all those incredible those Marvel heroes. They're like those superheroes. Those form realms, they are the higher pleasure beings. They have a lot of pleasure also, yeah. But they have the same suffering, where you can see from here. Let me double check the words. Yeah, where I read from here, the beings have no obvious pain at all, but they still have this very nature of the life. They possess the most subtle form of suffering, which is instant by instant aging. Instant by instant aging. So they have the same problem also. And then what about the formless realm? Another one, formless realm. According to here, they say this realm is not the least bit better than the very lowest we can reach, hanging over a pot of molten steel in hell, about to be dipped in. Can you see this one? Yeah, I read again. The formless realm, they mentioned that it is not the least bit better than the very lowest we can reach, hanging over a pot of molten steel in hell, about to be dipped in. This is from the reading. I don't know about formless realm. I never been there. I don't want to use my own words to describe. So I want it to be very specific. So I cut from the reading. This is the description for the formless realm. Okay. Whereas for the form realm, they say they don't have the obvious suffering, but they have the subtle form of suffering, which is the suffering of instant by instant aging. Okay. So they want us to contemplate upon the principles of actions and their consequences, which means that they ask you to contemplate on the law of karma, the first law of karma. Like what we say just now, like make like. Think about that. And that will help you, is enough to stop the desire for the future life. Why? Because if we do non-virtuous deed, they will bring us to the three lower realms. Just now we talked about all the suffering, is it? All the suffering. I don't want to go there, right? So we want to avoid the lower birth. Okay, but when I do the virtuous deeds, they bring me to the upper realm, right? Happier birth. And I have this wonderful life. But it is nothing but suffering anyway. And so they want us to think about that. And so you have to free yourself from the cycle of life altogether. You have to be free from this samsaric altogether, 100%. If you look at this one, right, the non-virtuous deeds based on the law of karma, they bring us to the lower birth, suffering, misery birth. We don't want, we want to avoid that. But even if we get a higher birth, we have all this wonderful life, but they are suffering. Anyway, they are suffering according to what they describe. Because we only know about human life. I don't know about the pleasure, the God realm, or the demigod realm. I don't know. So based on what the explanation in the reading, it is not good to take the pleasure, the higher realm like the God and the demigod, because we will just enjoy and enjoy and enjoy and use up all our karma. In fact, the human realm is the best realm for us to practice, they say. Because we have suffering, yes, but we also have a lot of happiness. We have a lot of happiness. So it kind of balance and allow us to practice. We have the suffering. So you have to, when you meditate on that, think about that, they want you to stop to free yourself from the cycle of life altogether. You stop the desire for the future life. Even the future life in the higher realm is not really good in the sense that it is nothing but suffering anyway. Okay, so that is the first principle of karma. What is that? Like, make, like. Le, nghe, pa. Le, nghe, pa. So what we learn, the four principles of karma, we link to future lives. Because of our understanding of the like, make, like, we know that the future life, what kind of future lives we have. And then so, we want to stop the desire even for the future life, even for the happier realm. It is also a samsaric experience. So we want to be free from this samsaric existence, right? This samsaric existence of taking this impure part, this lousy body and mind that are suffering, that the mind is just crazy. Think about all those bad thoughts, frustration. We have a lot of mental afflictions, and the body. And this, the moment we are born, the moment we take this existence in this form, the very first day, all the suffering is already inbuilt. Is inbuilt. It's meant to be broken. I'm sorry that it's going to be Chinese New Year. We are talking about all this. Please forgive me on that. Okay, so next one. The second principle of karma is le is karma, pel is increase, chewa bigger. Le, pel, chewa means the karma will increase and become bigger. We say, I like the Chinese word. For this part, I really love the Chinese one. The Chinese one for the four principles of karma is really the best. This one, they say, 种子小小果大大. Means that the seed is very small, but the fruit is very big. So easy to understand. So normally we will say, hey, I didn't do this bad thing, you know. But the seeds grow to become very big tree. And, I remember when I first learned every time, no, I never do this sort of thing. No, I never do this sort of thing. But now because I keep my 6-time book, 3 times book all every day, then I check. The mind become more and more subtle that you're able to catch yourself. So the seeds grow. I didn't do this type of thing, and they come from something smaller and they grow, become a big result. So if we understand that, they want us to catch our thought. Don't let the first negative thought arise. Don't let the thought arise. Because when the thought arises, the next thing you're going to do something bad. The thought arises, the next thing you're going to say something bad. Catch yourself fast enough and break the cycle. We will learn that in chapter 9 and 10. I love chapter 9 and 10. It's on the correct view of emptiness. Okay, so there is the second principle of karma. Le, pel, chewa. 种子小小果大大. And the third one is le is karma. Ma is not. In Tibet, I'm not a Tibetan scholar, but I know like those words like ma, mi, and those start with M1, they're always not, no. Ma, no. Jepa, did. Dang, I know is and. Mi is also not. Trepa, make contact or touch. They don't make contact. The karma, if you never do the karma, you cannot get the result. If you didn't do the karma, you will never meet the result. You will never meet a consequence if you have not committed that action. And we have to think about that. We have to think about that. What we mean by that. If you didn't do, you will not meet that. You didn't commit the action, you will not meet the consequence. So let's look at the two scenarios, the good consequence and the bad consequence. Look at the first one first. If I want a good consequence, if I never do the karma, I will not get the good consequence. If let's say you want a promotion in your work, but you never do a good job, how to get the promotion? It's the same logic, same logic. So if you want to have money, and then you never go and have the money seeds, you don't have generosity, giving, then you won't get it. Don't expect durian runtuh. There is a word here, the Malay word that say that they fall from the sky. You never do anything, they just fall from the sky. It won't happen. Even if you go and rob the bank, you cannot touch the money. I like the word touch here. You cannot touch the money. If you don't have the karma, you cannot touch the money. So that is a good one. What about the bad one? When something bad happens, you say, hey, I didn't do that. If I didn't do that, I would not meet this consequence. Last time, because of this understanding, I will normally ask myself, probably I've done something similar. And ask myself. And then you try to connect the dots. If I meet something I don't like, I try to think about what have I done in the past for me to see this situation. If I never do it, I won't meet this situation. And don't beat yourself. Be very happy that you try. And then you can always do 4 powers. I'll talk about 4 powers later on. Okay, so if you never do the karma, you will never meet the results. If we never commit the action, we will definitely won't meet the consequence. So if we want to have money and we never do generosity, we never protect the property, take care of all these things, have money seeds, then don't expect to have money. The same thing, if we do something which is when we see something not good happening in our life, like someone, the yelling boss, think about, I said, I didn't do anything. Cannot just think about, maybe I've done something. Maybe I've scolded my child when they were small. I've planted the seed for me to see that situation. And so I learned to talk in a different way. Yeah, they help us to clean up our pocket of seeds. Okay, and the last one is principle number 4. Le is karma. Jepa means done. Chu means just. Me not. Sawa disappear. Le, jepa, chu, misawa. Karma done, just not disappear. Means what? If you do it, if you have done a karma, you've copied a karma, it won't disappear. Once an action is committed, the consequence cannot be lost. Okay? Hi, Jensen. Thanks for coming in. He said I texted him just now. He said he's still working. Thank you for coming in. I know it's difficult. Jensen, 加油. Jensen, 谢谢你捧场. Just kidding. Okay. Jensen actually is a very good, if not many people, he can ask a lot of questions, I tell you, and you learn a lot of things. Actually, I don't know whether good or not, near ACI platform. Okay. Last time we have a lot of discussion. Jensen. Okay. So just now we say that if we karma done, if we have done the karma, okay, the consequence cannot be lost. You see, we have done the imprint in our mind, it will not be lost. So when we say, oh yeah, my grandfather always do a lot of good things, but still bad thing happen. It won't be lost. It's already imprinted in the mind. Keep on learning. We have the techniques to make the good things that he has done to ripen faster. Just like when you plant a seed in the soil, if you just leave it, it will take a long time to ripen. We don't know when. But if you keep on learning, you will learn how to make this seed that you have planted to ripen faster. How to water the plant, how much water you need, how much sunlight you need. That will help to make these good seeds ripen faster so that you can see the results. So the same thing, if we have done something bad, also we have imprint in our mind, and it's going to come back. Oh my God. But no worries. No worries. Why? We have the 4 power. So if we have done something not good, we can always do the 4 power. So a very quick one, because I know some people never heard of 4 power. I want to do a very, very, very quick 4 power. What is it? Number one basis. Think about the pen. Means what? Means that now the pen is emptiness, right? It tells me that who am I hurting? Who am I hurting? When I do something bad, I'm actually hurting myself because of the emptiness. Understand the emptiness? I know it is hurting myself. It's going to come back. And so it leads to number 2, power number 2. I have regrets. Intelligent Buddhist regret. Don't beat yourself up, just intelligent Buddhist regret. Just like that. Okay, just regret. Yeah, I shouldn't do that. I don't know why I do that. Then number 3, restraint. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Don't say I'm not going to do that ever again. Don't say that. Okay, because unless you're very sure you can keep your promise, or if the person already no more around. Okay, so make sure that you always give yourself. don't tie yourself. If the person Jensen, I say, I'll never be angry with Jensen again. Don't ever say that. Sure, one day I'll be angry with him. Maybe the next moment I'm angry with him already. So I'll just say, okay, I will not be angry with Jensen. I will not be angry for the next 10 minutes. And then you stay in the room yourself. Okay. Yeah. Make the time commitment that you can commit. Last time I make it very, like don't say like 3 months, 1 year, sometimes you forget, So I like to make it small. That I can, like 1 day. Sometimes 1 day also I don't want. I say the morning only. I scared that 1 day later I forget, after that, so better half day, if half day I know I'm not going anywhere at home, then I make that kind of commitment. And then the last one, you do an opposite antidote. The antidote. This is a negative one, must go for another positive one. If I talk very harshly to somebody, then I say, okay, today I must praise somebody. As an antidote, I must praise somebody, opposite action. Today I talk very harshly to my son, so I must balance it. Okay, I want to praise somebody. I say, oh, Jensen, you are so incredible. You still come. Yeah, you are still working. Just finish work and you come. Oh, thank you, Casey, for coming. Thank you for showing the support. Yeah. Thanks, Rache and Zain. You are incredible couple who come and attend Dharma. It's so incredible. To rejoice on your good seats. Yeah, and also going to be Chinese New Year and you are here. You have incredible seats, Wow, it's super powerful. In fact, today when I come here, I already expect maybe today nobody. And I'm so scared nobody. Then I text Jensen. Jensen said, I cannot come. I said, okay. Then, okay, just let it be. I say, when I record, I want to think about all those invisible beings that I cannot see, and I'm talking to all of them. I tell myself, then okay, I come to the class. Okay, so let me see. Oh, love you too, Jensen. Keep in contact, always stay close. Yeah, help me to learn. Thank you so much for being here. Really, I'm not joking, because of one day, yeah, thank you, Yap Ying. One day, you will become the teacher and pass on the teaching. No worries, just listen, just leave it one side. I don't want to become a teacher, to be very honest. I just want to benefit myself. I'm a selfish person when I learn. I just want to know what is Buddhism, what are the ideas, how I can use it, how I can get something out of it. Yeah, I'm just curious. But as time goes by, your seats will change. But you have to put into practice, If you just listen, it's like looking at the medicine, this medicine is very good, and then look at it. Okay, bye-bye. You have to put on the medicine. You know this medicine is very good. You have to 涂药. Then only you will cure, isn't it? You have to take the medicine, then only you will recover. Okay, so we finished the 4 principles of karma in detail. And we apply that to our this one. To this thing, think over and over how deeds, means our action, and their fruits consequences, 后果, results, never fail. Means that it will always like, make, like. It will show come in that way. Good must come from good. Bad must come from bad. That is the meaning, okay? This is verse 4b. And the cycle suffering. Just now we talked about the cycle suffering, remember? We talked about the different realm. They are all suffering. We try to avoid the lower realm. But even if we get to the higher realm, it is nothing but suffering anyway. And so, stop desire for the future. So we don't want to have we don't want to continue into the future in this same body, this impure body and mind. We want to take a different pure body. Okay, if we understand the 4 principles of karma well, and then we think about it again and again, and put into practice, okay, which is you can take this, the 10 virtues, 10 non-virtues as a guide. Okay, keep your morality. Check yourself on this one. Try to do your 3 times book or 1 time book. Check your own thoughts. The first 3 is your body, action of body. 4, 5, 6, 7 is the speech. 8, 9, 10 is the mind. Check on this. When I first learned, I also check on my own. I'm just curious, so I check. Did I do like that or not? Did I do like that or not? Every day I check. So one day you break into 3 times. Morning 1 time, breakfast. When I take my breakfast, I check. When I take my lunch, I check. When I take my dinner, I check. Then I find that morning is a bit nothing much to check because I just wake up. So I change to lunch, dinner, and before I sleep. And this is very, very important because we want to accumulate only white seeds and we want to abandon the black seeds. Yeah. At the very least, we should avoid the 3 lower realm, right? And then at least we get another human rebirth. If we want to we want to reach the higher state, but if we can't, at least we have another human rebirth for us to continue to practice so that we can reach these states of being ultimate bliss, can reach this state of being where we can really help others in a deep and ultimate way. I want to emphasize again this one. They say here, you can be an advanced meditator with fantastic spiritual accomplishment. You can have a great extrasensory powers. You know, the 8, remember I said you can, can see very far lah, you know, can fly lah, you know, all those are extra sensory powers. But if you cannot behave with care around action and consequence, you will suffer. This one is very important because I got one friend, she's she learned ACI also. Then after a while, she liked to learn all these extra sensory power. And I'm so lucky that I keep on learning with ACI. That tells me that even if I can fly, so what? Bird also can fly. So that maybe, also, so okay, forget about that. Advanced meditator. Remember we say that even if we go to the cave and meditate, but then with the thought that when I come out, I want people to say how great Rachel is. Wow, she's a great meditator. So I fall into the egg, bully thoughts. Can you see that or not? And I spoil my spiritual practice. So the next one, we want to talk about the 6 problems of human life. This is the second part. Then we finish the second part. 6 problems of human life. We want to touch in greater detail. What is this? 6 problems of human life. Okay, let's read now. Number 1. Nyepa, mepe, nyepa. Nyepa is certainty. Mepe is there is no. Me is always no. Nyepa, bad thing or problem. So the first problem is the problem that there is no certainty. What is the first problem of human life? No certainty. Do you think that it is a problem in human life? Yes or? isn't it? No certainty. We don't know what is going to happen. What is going to happen next? I have, people, even they finish studying. I also have people who are very young here. They have a lot of anxiety because you also, yeah, you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. 明天有钱吗？明天有工作吗？ What kind of job, Whether will the person still love me? Whether my business still will be good or not? Whether will the person keep their promise? Whether will the person, you have a lot of uncertainty. You don't know whether what is going to happen. And but I'm very happy after we learn about ACI, right? I feel more peaceful. Last night I cannot sleep, I tell you very honestly. Before I learned ACI, there was a period of time I every time cannot sleep. I cannot sleep at night. I got a lot of problem thinking about this problem. Yeah. And I'm so happy I learned ACI. After I learned ACI, then that time I don't know what to plan. Actually, my first thing when, I started with DCI, then study group, then ACI. Then when I said, I don't want to plant, I don't want to plant. They said, ask me to plant money. I'm not very rich, but I'm not so keen on planting money. Like I have okay, like I'm okay. Like. Then after think, I said, okay, I think peace of mind. So I go for planting peace of mind. And I've been telling you, when I look back, it's the happiest time. I sleep so well. Now some people call me baby. I can't believe they call me baby because I need to sleep before 11. Normally by 10, I shut off everything. Only this class special, okay? I'm so happy that I find that the greatest joy is when you can sleep peacefully, It's such a torture if you at night cannot sleep. Why? 很多烦恼. You don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. I don't know whether I don't know whether my teacher will come or not. That time I also running an education center. Yeah. So a lot of anxiety. Learning ACI, I know what I'm doing is good thing. I plant good seeds all the time, right? So I don't have this worry about what is going to happen to my future tomorrow. And I know that I don't say that there's no problem, but even if there's a problem, somehow your feeling, how you look at things is different already. Now I finally understand what my teacher said. Last I always ask my teacher, okay, so I learned already, what happened? The person will disappear, is it? I always ask my teacher like that. What happened? Will he disappear so that no more problem? It's not whether the person disappear or don't disappear. Your way of looking at things so different, it won't affect your mind anymore. It doesn't spoil your mind, your peace of mind. So I sleep very peacefully. I'm so happy. I sleep and then the next morning. The time I met my teacher also, I remember my teacher came to Malaysia. Then everybody very busy. I think a lot of people cannot sleep very well. And then my teacher asked, I stay at people's different house. Last time when I was, I'm very mafan one. I cannot stay at people's house, I'm very troublesome when I stay. I cannot sleep well. Last time, I cannot remember. I'm so surprised nowadays. I sleep anywhere also I can sleep. You throw me anywhere also I can sleep. Sleep on the sofa, I just sleep. That day also I sleep in my friend's condo. I sleep on their sofa in the living room. And I just sleep. Then the next one, I sleep so peaceful. I can't believe that. I'm so surprised. Just seats change. Seats change. Why am I telling that story? I keep on looking at Jensen. I don't know why I'm telling that story. Okay, so there's no certainty. Okay, that's the problem. Don't know whether what is going to happen tomorrow. 明天怎么办? Tomorrow, how is my future? Will I get the job that I want? Will our relationship still be good? Will he still care about me? I got no certainty what is going to happen tonight. Will I continue to live tomorrow? We never know. We cannot be sure of anything at all. Okay, that is the first one. The second one, ngon pa, mepe, nye pa. Ngon pa is satisfaction. Mepe, there is no. Nye pa is a problem. The problem that there is no satisfaction. You agree or not? You have no satisfaction. You're never satisfied. You always want more and more and more things. So keep your wants few, be easy to satisfy. If you have a lot of things, then you have a lot of things to think about and lots of things to do. You're never satisfied. First thing, you don't have a job, then you say you want a job. When you get the job, then you're not happy with the job. Then you want a different job. Then when you get promoted, after a